All right, what's up, everyone? It's Cody with Nothing But Cardboard, and today I have episode number 2 of the SGC $1,200 challenge. And today we're going to be sharing each of our individual strategies as we go into this challenge and how Cody is going to come up on top as the victor. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with my personal strategy. And as you all already know, based off my graded card reveals, it's very different than what the other guys do. So just like the other two, I don't really know any other sports other than football, but I'm going to stretch myself into a state of discomfort or unknown because I realize that football cards aren't really going to sell too well in March. It's really the best time to buy those cards. So what I'm going to personally do is I'm going to focus on two sports, baseball and hockey. So I think the hockey is going to be my secret weapon, it's definitely going to be my secret weapon because I know these guys aren't going to buy any hockey cards, but I know some studs. And I'm also going to buy a little bit of baseball just because that's the time of season. So at the end of March, we have spring training. And then at the end of March, we'll be past the All-Star break with hockey. So it'll be kind of going into the playoff part of hockey. So what I'm going to focus on is, from the hockey perspective, OPC Platinum. Now, if you've seen some of my old videos, OPC Platinum is what I consider the Upper Decks version of Panini Prism. So they're super glossy cards, really, really nice. And I'm not going to try to get a numbered card per se because I'm going to focus on two people. I'm going to focus on Kirill from Milwaukee, I believe it's the Wild, and then Cal McCarr from the Avalanche. So those two players right there, Cal McCarr I believe they're both defensemen, but Cal McCarr is going to be the guy that I know the best, and I know he's one of the up-and-coming players in the NHL. So if I can get my hands on a really, really nice OPC Platinum Rainbow, which is like their silver prism, I'm going to do that, and I think it's going to be a steal. I'm going to pay up for it. I know I'm going to, but at the end of the day, it's going to end up helping me with the challenge. And Kirill Kaprizov is Minnesota Wild. So that guy, he's younger than Cal McCarr, but he's still really hyped. And I believe, currently speaking, they're primed for a playoff run. So that would be that's a little bit riskier than Cal McCarr. But I think if I can find a really, really nice card of Cal, that will kind of offset the risk with Kirill. So now I'm going to do baseball as well. And I know nothing about baseball, but baseball is one of those sports where you can kind of be a little bit safe with prospecting. So I don't know who I'm going to necessarily target, but I know the guys are going to probably go after somebody who's a little bit more popular. So I'm going to go after a team that's not in Florida, and it's going to be a Bowman First. It's going to be a Bowman First rookie card. I know those are going to sell, and as long as it's a popular prospect, I think you'll be safe. And I probably will spend the least amount of money on baseball in comparison to hockey. So I'm going to have most of my eggs in hockey and a little bit into baseball. If I can get a Topps Chrome rookie card, that'd be nice as well. Maybe like a silver refractor or some sort of number card if I can get lucky. But those are my two. That's my approach with this challenge. I'm going to go for about 5 cards to send to SGC and sell the rest raw on eBay. So if you see a card that's hockey related on Nothing But Cardboard's eBay, be sure to support Team Cody and pay up the wazoo with it. All right, next it's going to be John with his strategy.
All right, guys. So John here, and I have kind of changed my strategy the more that I've thought about it over the past few days. So, obviously baseball season is coming up. So it is the best time to sell baseball is at the very beginning of the season. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I personally like to focus on one player. Like for football, what I did is I hyper-focused Jalen Hurts at the beginning of the year. I hyper-focused Trevor Lawrence at the beginning of the year. Obviously, those were good decisions. And while $400 may seem like a lot, it goes really quick when you get big dollar cards. So really, if I was to invest about $300 in baseball and then save roughly $100 for grading, that would be kind of my ideal situation. So the player that I would be targeting is someone who I think is undervalued right now. Obviously, I don't want to go for Julio Rodriguez because his his card prices are just way too high right now. Everybody is buying him. He's just too hyped. And that was kind of the situation that happened last year with Mac Jones. Way too hyped. As soon as the year came, card value tumbled. But we do have the good news is we're selling this before the season starts, so you're able to sell during the hype. So the player that I have picked is Wander Franco from the Rays. Obviously, he's a hometown boy. He's been the #1 prospect for like 3 years, entering into his rookie season. And he actually had a really down year last year because of his wrist injury. So what does that do? It makes a huge buying opportunity available. You can get silver tops chrome cards. You can get prism chrome cards. You can get X-Fractor cards, Wander Franco, for about $15 to $20 a pop. The other thing that I really like to do is buy numbered cards. I know John kind of alluded to it in the last video, but I really do like numbered cards. And the reason is, obviously, you know how many of them exist. But second, since they are so rare, you kind of are able to set the value. You're kind of setting the market at whatever you want that to sell for. So if you have a Wander Franco card, SGC 10, that's numbered to 99, there's probably not a whole lot of competition out there, which means your opportunity for profit margin is much higher than a card that is out there much more frequently, like a base paper card. There's a million of those out there. Obviously, you know what those are going to sell for. You don't necessarily know what a card out of 99 is going to go for. So I think that that makes the profit margin just that much greater. So that's kind of my strategy going forward. At the beginning, I was like, man, I should just buy a big lot of cards, hope I get something, and then, you know, you might get more value in that. But the more I thought about it, I thought I need to stick with something that I know that even if I have to resell raw, I'm probably going to make more money on when the season comes up. Because I could buy a Wander Franco card right now, say I spend $20 on it. Come baseball season, I could probably resell the same card raw for, you know, 50 to 100% of whatever I just bought it for. So say I buy it for $20, I might resell it for $40 without doing a single thing except relisting it. So that's kind of my mindset going forward. And the other thing that is a little bit concerning is Wander Franco is kind of a big name, so you don't know what condition his cards are going to go in. I had the Trevor Lawrence effect is what I called it last year. I was buying Trevor Lawrence left and right. I would only get like 1 or 2 gradable cards for every 10 cards that I purchased. Zach Wilson, on the other hand, 8 out of 10 were gradable. So we'll see how they come in. Hopefully I get some good gradable cards, but you never know. But that is my strategy, and I'm sure it's a lot different than John, and he is going to explain what his is in just a second.
All right, guys, you've heard the other two guys' strategies already, so now I guess it's my turn. And you know we don't know much about baseball. I know a little bit. I know Julio Rodriguez. I know Bobby Witt. Of course, Wander Franco, who got hurt last year. A couple other guys that I've seen. Very little about basketball, more old school basketball. So my thought process, my strategy is to buy several other cards, rookie cards, try to get something short print or serialized. So a higher dollar card, maybe a refractor or a serialized, probably can't afford auto or anything like that. And then get 5 or 6 other cards that I can send to get graded. Tricky part about this is when you buy cards on eBay, you don't know how many are going to be grade worthy. So you may buy 10 cards to get graded, and only 2 or 3 are going to work out. So there's only $60 in grading fees. So it's going to be hit or miss as you're going along. Also going to be on the lookout for some that are already slabbed. If I can get some good prices on some slabs, some cards that are already slabbed that are going cheaper, like HGA, we bought a bunch of those and crossed them over good with PSA, so I would assume that that would probably do well with SGC or maybe other SGC slabs. Been looking a little bit already, trying to think about what I want to do, and the prices are already really starting to go up, which is surprising. Football season's just winding up. Some of those cards are starting to drop down in prices, but baseball is already starting to ramp up, and people are probably having the same idea, so it's not like slim pickings. So that's my focusing on those 3 or 4 players, higher dollar cards, a few lower end cards to try to get a handful to get graded. If I can get 5 or 6 cards that are grade worthy to send off and then pick up some slab cards at a cheap price, I think I'll be able to win this challenge. So that's my goal. my strategy. It may change. Stuff may pop up when you start searching. Other stuff will pop up, so we'll have to see. I am going to go to a card show. It's a card show coming up in a couple weeks, so I'm going to go to that and check it out and see if maybe I can actually see some cards that I'm buying and pick them out and see if they're grade worthy. The last time we went to a card show, they seemed to be a little bit more overpriced. Not like eBay where you can snipe and get some deals. These seem to be higher priced, but at least you can handle the card and you can see if it's grade worthy. It's worth paying 10 or 15 bucks more if you know it's gonna pull a good grade. And that's pretty much it. eBay and maybe a card show or two. We'll see what happens. So, hey guys, we appreciate you going along with this challenge with us. Again, spending all of our money. As the dad, I gotta say that's not a good idea, but it's not really our money. It's NBC's money. It's our play money. We're trying to get content for you guys, and we're trying to learn a new grader. So, looking forward to it. We appreciate you guys going down this journey with us. So, thanks a lot.